Peace, black people. We are important. We are worth supporting. You tuned into the Elevation Sessions powered by my book, 200 Years from Niggas to Gods, a guide to becoming a mature nation. This series is all about real transformation. And today we're going deep into chapter 4, Mastering a Trade. This chapter is about more than just jobs, it's about becoming indispensable, building skills that can't be replaced, creating something that outlives you. Today's guest is my brother Brion, who's been steady with his moves. He has built a solid foundation, he stayed committed, and planted seeds that are starting to show. His path speaks to long term vision, discipline, and putting your hands into something that's real. He and his family started the Bivins Family Vineyards, a name that already sounds like legacy. So, right on, B, thanks for coming on the show, man. And how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on your platform to do this. And also, I want to say congratulations on the book and everything. It's a great read. I
Hey,
think.
man, right on, man. Thank you, man. So let's talk about what it means to turn discipline into ownership and elevate through mastery. So in chapter 4, I say a man with no skill is a man who can be controlled.
Right.
But when you have mastery over your craft, your land, or your vision, you control the game. And right now, B, you kind of like living proof of that. So I kind of wanted to ask you, what inspired you and your wife to start a vineyard? And how's the first season of building been going?
Okay. So I say what inspired us or gave us the courage to take that leap, I think, is just it was my wife's vision. It was a passion of hers that she had for wine and just wanting to start her own business. She was working in corporate America for about 15 years. She was a senior manager at a big accounting firm. And for me, I was in the military for like 21 years. And so I told my wife, once I finished with the military, we could pour in, to her plan because we had been
Yes.
uprooted so much over the years. And so that's kind of what gave us the kind of vision was that just knowing that she loved that and knowing that you can, if you have a passion and you pour into it, uh,
Yep.
you'll keep going. So
That's
that's
right.
kind of what it was. And so throughout that journey, I was able to retire and not have to work for no one else. And that had always been a part of the plan. Upon my 20 years of retiring from the military active duty would be so that college would be set up for my kids and we could kind of move into that next step of life easier, which was being an entrepreneur.
Man, that's what's up. So
Yeah.
how has the first season of building been going? How's that first season been going?
Okay, so the first season of going has been difficult. It's
That's right.
very difficult because for farming for us was just something that sounded cool and dope that we were going to get into it. And it's not like we have a small farm. We are farming tons of grapes. So
Yes, sir.
so it's been to get back to your question though, it's been challenging because it's been uh a journey through the unknown. We've had to learn a lot along this process, and my wife has been heavy into the books, and I've been kind of following her lead on like the science part of it. So it's
Hmm.
just like constant learning, and this is um, something that really puts patience and consistency to the test.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So so that I just want to say congratulations to that, man. That's a big feat, man, to put out, to start your own vineyard, your own wine, to come up with that. I don't know how many black people are in that space, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if it's many. I don't know many.
So for us, just we went to a wine conference and we were some of the I would say one of the few minority couples there, but it is a growing industry. More people getting into it. But I would definitely say uh, we need more representation just in the field in general. But it's
Right.
kind of cool because we haven't met many barriers, though. I will say that about this industry. Everybody has been really open and cool, and you get what you work for.
That's what's up and good to hear. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
yeah.
So I was going to ask you the next one I asked you is how did your time in the Coast Guard prepare you to transition from service to business?
Mm. I think the one of the major things that it taught me was discipline, right? Knowing how to lead, but knowing that you have to be a good follower to lead, knowing how to take a step back, knowing that you need, learning that you need to, if you sharpen your sword, you know, then once you cut, you won't have to keep doing that. Like you can just keep moving forward. So always being able to have a plan and know everything that can go wrong. So
Prepare.
I think yes, definitely heavy on preparation, heavy on teamwork, heavy on communication. So those are definitely some of the pillars that I learned while being in.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So one of the other questions I like to ask, so like, how does it feel knowing that with your vineyard, you planted something that can be passed down that your kids will like inherit some of the soil or actually the actual soil you actually worked on, or are they even working on it? Like I think that's pretty big to know that this is going to be passed down for generations.
Oh, definitely a conversation that my wife and I have had, and it feels great. And we do have them working out there sometimes begrudgingly. They don't want to be out there, but
Of
it,
course.
it always gives us those opportunities to talk about the bigger picture. Like, you got to learn this because it's going to be yours one day. And
Right.
this is an asset because as long as you take care of it, it's going to make money every year
Right.
the foreseeable future. You know what I mean? Whether you
Yes, sir.
want to get into just selling the grapes whole or you want to get into making wine. So I would say that, man, just being able to have something to pass down to my sons that I know can go on and live past us and past them is just great.
And I mean, I was just sitting here thinking, I didn't even think about, like, just selling the grapes whole. If you want to just sell the grapes whole, that
Yeah.
could be a thing for you to get into. And so, one thing I thought about right now
So
is
I'll say
probably
that's
off
what we
base.
do. That's what we do right now. Actually, we sell the grapes whole by the ton.
Yeah.
And then so we got contracts on our grapes, and then we also are going to be making our first vintage of wine uh
Yeah.
this year from grapes from our own land.
But I was gonna ask you is like, how do I mean, I don't know if you can talk about this. I don't know. I ain't never
Yeah.
did nothing with into the wine, but how do they taste, man? Like, what's so? I mean, I know you got a little bias in there, but I mean, tell me, how they taste?
So I'll say this: we were blessed enough to buy this property from a master gardener. So this was already a existing business that we bought. So
Okay.
with that, he has a great variety that it was award winning. And so we've been
Okay.
maintaining that. And then we have like some sweet grape varieties that taste really good. Like, so they taste great right now. The season that they're in, some are very sour, some, and they're just growing. And we will be harvesting at the end of this month and next month. So yeah.
Are they green, black, purple?
Oh, so some are green, are
I've
sweeter
seen some cotton
grapes.
candy grapes. Are you into that? That cotton candy grape?
So
You
we
seen that?
I know what you're talking about, but we have something kind of similar, like far as sweetness. They're
Mm-hmm.
called Muscat Blanc. Those grapes,
Yeah.
they're really sweet. Then our award-winning grapes are Petit Verdot, and
Yeah.
um, those have some sweetness to them too. And like and then we have Treminet, which is a white grape, and they're not fully developed yet. So they're still growing,
Okay.
so they're a little bit more sour. They haven't got their flavor. And then we have Cabernet, and it's a little bit more like sweet and peppery. They taste really
Uh,
good, and that's what we're going to be. We're working to make our first vintage in
Man,
like
I'm just
that.
so impressed, man. I'm so proud of y'all doing that, man. I'm so
Thank you.
excited for that. I would love, if what I gotta do to get a bottle out here, a case
Yeah,
or whatever to support, but I can't wait to try that, man. And I wanted
yeah.
to say one more congrats to you on that. And I'm pretty sure we can, whenever you need me to come on there, taste test, whatever,
All right, bro.
invite me. I'm with it.
Hey man, as soon as we had that moving and grooving, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start having family and friends out, and we're just in the like planning phase right now, just turning it into a nice venue for weddings and stuff like that. So got a lot
That's
more
what's up.
coming. Yeah.
So, it sounds like you're getting to it, man. And so, this part is like, mastery over mediocrity, man. I wrote in the book, man, the time for mediocrity is over. This is
Mm,
the era of mastery. And,
sure.
with all the stuff that, you've been doing, man, you could have just retired, but really, man, you leveled up.
Mm.
So I would like to ask you, man, what's one lesson that the vineyard taught you that the military didn't?
Um, I would say one lesson that the vineyard taught me was um, how to, as much as you can, master patience and being able to go with the flow because you can't predict the weather. Like if it's thunderstorm and I got to spray, we got something to do out there, or my wife, she may has a schedule for things we got to do.
Yeah.
Vineyard, and so we go by off of that schedule just so we make sure we hit our marks. And bro, like sometimes it's storming, like we might come out there one day and a deer that ran through part of the fence. We got to
Uh,
repair that. So it's it's really being able to deal with be in the moment, learn to be in the moment and let things go. So it's a few lessons in there, but I would definitely say patience is a big one.
okay.
Yeah.
So then, I've heard you talk about the deer busting through your fence
Mhm.
and storms or whatnot. How do you manage setbacks when it comes to something as unpredictable as farming and or business ownership? Those are two kind of unpredictable paths.
Mhm.
How do you manage your setbacks?
We manage our setbacks by learning from them so they don't happen again. For one, creating those contingency plans after something happens. Like if it's a scheduling thing, then you got to go back and update that schedule and remember, like, hey, we can't do this again, or this is happening here. So that's how we kind of do that. We A lot of the things on the farm you can't necessarily stop, but you can have a better plan moving forward for. So we try to always be updating the way that we operate.
Look at yourself right now. Who are you? More importantly, who do you want to be? Every day you make choices. Every day you move. But are you really living or just existing? You were never meant to be stuck. You were never meant to just survive. You were built to build, to lead, to master. Enough. The difference between staying the same and leveling up is one decision. One moment when you say, no more. I refuse to stay here. 200 years from niggas to gods. The transformation starts now.
So
Staying up to date. I mean
yeah,
that's smart. Making sure. I mean, again, when it's storming. And next time
yeah.
it's storming, maybe we should do something different. Just
Right,
planning for the
exactly.
future.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like our people undervalue skilled trades or land-based businesses? And if so, how do we get our people to shift into thinking, you know, skilled trades and going for mastery? How do we get our people to think like that?
I would say exposure. More people that are, just tapped in with what's going on in in world culture, in our culture, popular culture, you know what I mean? Just
Yes, sir.
more people that is really tapped into the culture and is open to network, letting people know that it's other avenues out there and it's opportunities out here to make real money, and make a real difference and really be positive and bring people along. And it takes just as much time to find out information on that as it does to try to get a quick flip or do something fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's what's up, man. And now, like you say, and when you talk about the quick flip or getting something fast, that generally doesn't work out. And when you're talking
Right.
about some of that other, that's kind of for your long haul. We got to start
Right.
thinking about the long haul, which is like
Absolutely.
generational wealth in
Yeah.
real time. And
Yeah.
so, my chapter 4, it pushes us and teaches us to build a legacy. And
Right.
so, you're not just making wine, what I mean, you actually showing the next generation how to grow, produce, and own. And
Yeah.
right there, man, that's wealth in real time.
Yeah.
So, I know you got your son also, he playing D1, right? D1 football.
Yeah. Yeah. He at the University of Idaho.
That's what's up. And so I was trying to feel like, what financial or legacy game are you trying to teach him off the field?
So, one thing that we've definitely been teaching him, like both of my sons, we want been teaching them over time just to be responsible entrepreneurs. Both of them want to own their own business. He has aspirations in sports right now, but they both want to own their own businesses. We've been talking to them about, just name and likeness. But the biggest thing we're doing right now, especially with my oldest son, is just personal finance. He's blessed enough to be able to have his own apartment. So
Huh.
he pays for all his own bills. He doesn't eat out a lot. He cooks his food, and he has his certain days when he eats out. He takes advantage of being able to eat at school. So, just being
He on regimen.
responsible. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
on, he on regimen.
yeah, trying to be a real human being out in the world, because bro, you don't want to be out here depending on other people. So you have to take advantage of the blessings that you have. Mhm.
So what does wealth mean to you now? And not just money, but in memory, impact, and ownership.
Um, Memory impacting. I would say that wealth means to me that mm, it's it's freedom of time to really pour into passions. And I think that those things change over time. The passions change, but as long as you're able to have the freedom to help others, I think that's what wealth is to me. Being able to take that time to be creative. And a lot of us don't have that because we are working and working without a plan to get out of certain situations, and we start to lose our creativity. So that's what wealth means to me, being able to help others and be as creative as possible.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So if you could give a young brother one skill to master right now, what would it be and why?
I could give a brother. Mm.
Like, what's one thing, what's one thing, a skill, a trade, or something that you would say, hey
Oh,
man, you
okay.
need to master this because, let's get into it. We need to get to it. What's one thing? What's one skill you would want a young brother to master?
I would definitely say a skill or trade that someone could master right now. Definitely know plumbing. You know, plumbing is definitely a trade that is undervalued that I know multiple people who have because I do some government contracting as well. They have
Yes, sir.
city contracts that are in the six figure.
Yeah.
That's one contract. So that's definitely a trade. And I would say if something else that they can master would be discipline, just in your daily regimen. You know, that's something that I feel like you covered very well in your book, is just how important discipline is. And I definitely second that. You know, I think there's somewhere that I fall short at times. I think we all do. But if you're able to get up and just say, okay, today for sure, I'm a, you know, do something to improve my mental health, my physical health, my financial health, and it could be 5-10 minutes in each, and build
Right.
off that. But I think that's where discipline comes from. Pick a time to wake up and just get up every morning and start from there.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
That's what's up, man. So man, right on, B. So the last question to finish it out, B. How did your brother do on the book, man? What did you think about the book? Give it to me raw. Let me know what you thought about it,
yeah.
and yeah, let me know.
So I definitely had a question for you. Like I say again, I want to say again, congratulations, because I thought it was a dope book, and I wanted to know, have you ever read a book called The Way of the Superior Man? Because The Way of the Superior Man.
No, I haven't got tuned into that one.
Okay, well, it's just like I feel like a lot of the principles in that book,
Uh-huh.
and that's one of my favorite books. And I feel like you covered a lot of those same principles and stuff in there. So I just wanted to say that the book is dope. And I wanted to know the title of your book is bold and provocative. Why did you choose that exact name? And what conversations or emotions were you hoping to spark by it?
Well, that question has came up a lot, B. Like what made me go with 200 years from niggas to gods.
Right.
Really, I wanted the title to, shock you. I'm always that shock and awe type of person. So I
Hmm.
wanted to get your attention with something. The other title that I was going with was From Slaves to Masters, since a
Right.
bunch of the book is about mastering your trade, mastering your mind, mastering finance, mastering the law. But to me, that just didn't hit like niggas to gods. And I wanted to also just kind of, with that shock and awe, say that we can go from our lowest point of self to our highest point of self. I remember growing up, people used to always say, man, suckers do what they can, man, and players do what they want. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so I kind of always, kind of almost took it like that, right? Niggas, they just do what they can to survive, man.
Right.
And gods, they do what they want to do when they want to do it, how they want to do it. So that's
Yeah.
what kind of this book is about too. Is kind of like showing you can take yourself from that lowest part of yourself to that highest part of yourself and stop just surviving and live the way you want to.
Yeah. And a lot of it is in mindset. And I got another question for you. In your journey from the concept to the finished book, what was the most difficult truth you had to face about yourself, and how did writing the book help you evolve past it?
And that's a great question. For me, I think you talked about it earlier. It's discipline. In chapter 2, it's all about discipline. It's all about, you have a book in front of you, read it. You in your mind tells you to go exercise. You need to be healthy, go work out. And
Yeah.
so, for me, since I am doing a lot of things, sometimes my discipline lacks. And
Okay.
that's one thing about myself that I had to, I have to face, and I have to do what I talked about in the book, which is write things down 500 times, write things down to get myself back on track and to get myself back on discipline. So that is one thing about myself that I'm really talking to myself in my book is chapter 2 and the discipline.
Well, yeah, man, I just want, last thing I'll say is I thought it was a dope read. And I also think that you did cool with the audio book too. And I think that it's that's a good way to give people information because I got the audio book today just to, touch up for this interview. And it was just like I was running around and it was like quick listen to be able to like touch up on it. So I think if you keep giving people information like that, I think it'll be impactful and successful.
Right on. One thing this conversation right here sparked up. So I'd like to ask you one more follow up, which is, what can you say to someone who allows the title to keep them away from this book? What is something that you'd like to say to someone who allows this title to allow them not to even open the book?
That's a good question. I guess I would say that sometimes you gotta take the power out of the word. Words are just words, and it only affects you as much as you let it. So, just step out of your comfort zone, I would say, and try something new. That would be what I would say to someone. Words only affect you as much as you let it.
That's right. Right on, man. So, Brion, man, thank you, man, for showing us that elevation doesn't always look like flash. Sometimes it looks like soil, like sweat, like grapes turning into gold. You
Hey, come
proved
on.
something powerful today, that legacy can be planted. And when it's cared for with skill and structure, it grows. To anyone listening, don't sleep on your talents. Mastery is the gateway to freedom. If you don't have a trade, go get one. If you're sitting on the gift, sharpen it. And if you want more of this energy, grab the 200 Years from Niggas to God's collector edition, where you get the ebook, the audiobook, a soundtrack done by me, and that exclusive artwork. It's the full elevation kit. So peace, black people. We are important. We are worth supporting. Right on, B. Thanks for coming up.
Man, thanks for having me.
Nigga, we ain't gotta be nigga, we ain't gotta sell drugs. Nigga, we really rock right, nigga, we truly godlike, nigga, we been building space stations, nigga, we are the United Nations, nigga, the globe is too small, niggas will always run y'all, nigga, we are worth support, nigga.